Hi, I'm going to explain an SQL injection attack that was developed to retrieve user data from a simple web page login system that uses MySQL database to store user information. We have three users, so we store their username, their password, and their data along with a unique ID number. So I have three users, user 1, 2, and 3 here. In the MySQL database. And I have two PHP scripts. One is the login page, and the other is one that contains information instructing MySQLi, the plugin for Apache to do database interaction, to instruct it how to connect to the database. So this web page is just a simple form with a post section that executes when the user hits submit, so that depending on the username and the password provided by the user, it will go to the database, check if the user exists, and then get its info. So here I have a user that I'm going to be looking for, user 1 and pass 1. And we can see that it returns the data for that user, as shown in the bottom left in the SQL database. So what the SQL query is doing is just matching up the username and the password provided. If I want to get the data for another user though, I can do user 2 in the username. And because of the way the SQL query is structured, with the password being the last part in the line, I can introduce a malicious text that returns the password section true, regardless of the username that I put in. So now, without knowing user 2's password, I can just put in user 2's username and a malicious password statement, and I got user 2's data. So this is an example of SQL injection. I should not have been able to get user 2's data because I don't know his password. And this happens because we don't clean the inputs. So if we use a MySQLi real escape string, we can check to make sure that we don't have any illegal characters or special characters. So by simply using this function to check the characters of the input, and I'll switch it over to clean the inputs. Now this is one protection against SQL injection, and I can no longer get user 2's data by manipulating maliciously the password input. It just says now user not found. So that's an example of SQL injection and how to protect against it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about cross-site scripting. Cross-site scripting is when users can upload code into editable sections in their profiles on a website, such that it's then executed by other users. So here we have a basic social media dummy website set up, along with the backend where it uses MySQL database to store user profile and information about their blogs, their bio, their personal data, comments that they made, that kind of stuff. So for cross-site scripting, it heavily relies on sections of the websites where users can upload their data. So if I log in under my account, you can see that I'm able to make some blogs and forums and stuff, but the real core part of this cross-site scripting is the fact that users can have first names, last names, a motto or a headline, and where they can pretty much type in information about themselves. And on this profile, we have the profile headline, and we also have a profile bio. Now, I developed a worm here, and what it will do is it's a JavaScript file ultimately, and what I can do is I can, in my profile headline, introduce a malicious text to source the JavaScript file remotely. Now, in this demonstration, the JavaScript file is located locally on the server itself, but I can just as easily put in a URL there and have it pull from a URL. So just now, I loaded the XSS worm because I refreshed my profile page, and it kicked me out I cannot edit my profile by design. And I made it that way so users cannot remove the worm from their profile. So now my profile is infected, and if I refresh the database, it shows up correspondingly in the database. I did change the email, so now you can't reset your email, and we can see the malicious code embedded in the headline. So this user is now infected, and like I said, they cannot edit their profile. That way, the attacked users are permanently stuck in their state, and they can't fix it. So if I now log out and go to a different user, user one, and I got the password wrong, but let me try again. But because cross-site scripting relies on content that users upload being editable in a malicious sense, and this website supporting users uploading their own personal data, I can have this user now go look at the other infected profile, and they load the malicious code stored in the headline in that profile. So now the worm jumps to this user, and now this user is infected. And the user cannot edit their profile. They are stuck being another propagator of the worm. So if they try to fix it, they're locked out, essentially. And again, this only works for websites where users are able to upload content that other users can see and render as HTML and possibly load malicious code that other users have uploaded to their profile and through inputs that weren't sanitized. So now this other user, user 2, I will also look at the infected profile, and this user is infected as well. So you can prevent this by properly sanitizing the inputs when a user goes to update their profile information, or sanitizing the inputs of any information that a user can upload to the website that would be accessible by other users. So in this case, I look at user 2 as user 3, and this confirmed propagation of the worm because I didn't even look at the original profile. I looked at only user 2 as user 3, and now user 3 is infected. So this is the worm here, just lines of code to check where the user is, and we can see all the users are they're infected. So the website's effectively destroyed. The user can still log in because I didn't change their password, but I did change their first name, last name, their headline, and their email.
Hello, my name is Jaswanth Reddy. So, coming to the CSRF attack. CSRF stands for Cross-Site Request Forgery, also known as CRF CSRF or XCRF. Actually, this attack tricks a victim into performing actions on their behalf. The impact of this effect depends on the level of permissions that victim has. Such attacks actually takes advantage of the fact of website completely trusts a user once it can confirm that user is indeed who they say are. And cross-site request forgery is considered a sleeping giant in the world of web application security. So it is not often taken as seriously and should, even though it can prove to be stealthy and powerful attack if executed properly. It is also a common attack, which is why it has secured a spot on the OWASP top 10 list of several times in a row. So today I'm going to showcase how this CSRF attack takes place. The CSRF attack can be done in 2 or 3 different styles. So example, end of the day, we need to create a forger link, and using social engineering skills that you need to send that link to a user, and you make user to click that link so to make the appropriate action. So to do that, we can create a same kind of forgery website, so we can make that link as trust as possible and send that link. But here I'm going to do in the same website using backend XSS for CSRF attack. So if you see, there are 2 dashboards. I'm going to say, you can see user 1 is the dashboard for this click website. This click website is the we took open source code from the dashboard and we created this website for this uh, attack purpose. And this is just a forum website. Just imagine if this website can be a banking website or some kind of social media website where anything can be done in the same format if there is a vulnerability involved for to do a CSRF attack. So now this is the dashboard of user one. So this is user one and this is user two. So now user one would be a malicious attacker and user two is a normal user. So using user one profile, we are going to attack user two. So we are doing the same website, not creating a different HTML website to lose to make user to click the link. So suppose what are we doing here? So user one is there. Now without user to permissions, we are making user to click a link that will make the that will create a forum without his intentions. Example, how what am I saying? So create a forum. User one is a malicious user. He's trying to create a program. So say attack user two. Question: You you just got attacked. So this is and how we are going to do. So I am going to use the backend access vulnerability this website is. So I have written a code to do this process. So this is the code we are trying to. So it is a form body. This form body we can just say instead of subject, so we can write CSRF attack. You just attack. So form body and the topic, we can do any topic. And here is the cookie. For CSRF, cookie is the main thing because users should be in the login stage to make this attack work, because we don't have the credentials. CSRF is not that uh, advanced to get the credentials and stuff, but we can get the cookie of the user, and using that cookie we can go into his logged in page and we can do any action of it. So if you see response, this is our IP of this our website and where it's got created, and we are just getting the cookie and using that cookie to make changes in the forum where user to got effect. Now I created a forum on top of it. Now form has been completed. So now see, if you see the form has been completed. So now I just need to give this link. So if you see this link, just a website name post, there is nothing wrong in the click, non-trust. It's always, it seems like a trusted link because I didn't involve anything in this. The website IP and the post and the topic ID. So this link can be set into an image. This link can be sent into email. This and like any type of way that you can set this link into and send a mail to the user to. And once this mail has been sent to user two will click the link and it will make changes in this post. Now, what is being so now let's consider I've sent this link to user two. So this is user two where I logged into incognito mode. And when I paste this link, now I click on it. See, when I click on the link, user two has been made changes and send this post. CSR effect. created by user 2. You just see it says created by, if you can see here, it is said created by user 2. So I created a link from my and you also created by, so you can see created a link in my user one profile and shared that malicious link to the user two, and when user two clicked it, it made a change without his consent unknowingly in this web page. This is how CSRF attack effect takes place. So if there is a banking website, if I create the same thing and he clicks on it, $100 get detected detected from his. So the main thing is how we are going to share the link. You need to forge a link that way you can get trust from him. Here I forged a link with a different profile where the website site IP is the same and the forum site is, everything looks same. You just need to click on the link. We need to make sure use a better social engineering skills to make this link work. It's simple. And I use here XSS vulnerability to make user to click on the link. And you can create a different website, make vulnerability of different website, and make him enter into the website and redirect that website to the main website. This is how we created a CSR effect. Thank you.